everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? Hope you're all doing great. So it's Guitar Month, International Guitar Month, and we're just here to chat about guitar, hang out, talk about guitars and effects pedals and sounds and all kinds of stuff. Rock out to some covers, rock out to some originals. That comes up later though. Or maybe I should just start out wailing. Who knows? Kind of feel like talking is probably better. Hang out a little bit. Mr. Formiati hanging out over on YouTube. Good day, sir. All the way from Australia. My favorite future man, because it's tomorrow over there. And then we have Amy Lynn on Facebook. And John Ramsey back on YouTube. Good evening. Good evening. And of course we have my wonderful wife Wendy on YouTube, Facebook 1, Facebook 2, and Twitch. Oh yes. Alright. Everything looks like it's working. Gotta love it when things come together, right? What was that? Gotta love it when a plan comes together. There's still some people on that aren't chatting, so say hi, folks. It's all good. It's all good. You could say hello. You know, everybody's friendly. We have this thing going on here since hard to hear me talking. Interesting. Wonder why. Wonder why. Let's see what's going on with the microphone tonight. Hard to hear me talking. Let's see. Maybe we boost this up. Hey, Janice. All right, we just put it to 90. Any higher, and I think we're going to have problems. Hopefully that's better. Let's see. Move it a little closer. Let's try that. All right. Janice just jumped on over on the YouTube. Very good. Hello, Twitch family, and YouTube family, and Facebook family. Yeah. All right, so let's see. What do I have that we can rock out to right out of the gate, even though I'm not warmed up at all? Let's see. Let's do something fun. Something fun and upbeat. What do you think? Fun and upbeat? All right, so it's International Guitar Month while I'm scrolling through some tunes here. And, we could do this one. There we go. International Guitar Month was started back in 1987 by a branch of folks in the guitar accessories department. Gamma, yeah. Guitar accessories and musical. I forget what the other A was for. Association. That was it. Something like that. And they started this thing called Guitar Month to help promote the guitar and really get people excited and psyched to play guitar. Yeah. So I haven't streamed since October for anybody who's listening, and I figured, let's get back into it and let's do a stream every day in April to celebrate guitar. So tonight's guitar is this beautiful pink Pia that started to lure me away from my Parkers. And this is actually my wife's guitar. This is Wendy's guitar. And she's a big instrument fan and Steve Vai fan and music fan in general. So, music is art and instruments are art as well. So why not have a couple of cool guitars, right? What can I say? It's so pretty. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And so is my wonderful wife. Beautiful woman. And thank you for letting me borrow your guitar this evening. And pretty much any evening that I decide to take it. All right. So I'm going to play a little bit while everybody finds their way here. And we're just going to rock it right from the get-go here. So back in October, I used to do this thing called Monday Night Live. For some of you who are familiar with me, and for those who are not, I'll let you know. I've been streaming since 2018, once a week, every Monday. I think I missed 4 shows out of all of that time, and that was mostly back in October-ish. So I said, things are getting a little crazy. I need to take a break. So I did. Oh, look at this. Steven Stetler. Dude, I almost used your picture that you made me. You remember that picture you made me? I want you to take lessons with Vince Gianella. It was a picture of Uncle Sam. It was actually a picture of you acting like Uncle Sam. Pretty awesome. I still have that. I use that every now and then on some flyers. Of course, internet flyers. He remembers. Awesome. All right, let's see. Janice is over on YouTube and saying hello to Wendy and a couple other people. Very cool. Good to see you, Steven. I remember you came to one of my open mic nights when I was running those at, I think that one was Barty's in particular, but you came with your band and it was great to hear you play. It really was. A lot of my students don't continue. And, it's like, oh, man. Oh, thank you so much. I'm blushing. Jesus. Wow. Speaking of Jesus, that picture. That's awesome. I really appreciate you saying that. But yeah, you guys came to that gig, and I didn't know what you sounded like. All I heard was you in the lessons, and then I didn't see you for like 10 years. I wouldn't have, man. And then, thanks, teaching me, I guess that was. Yes. There you go, you fixed it. You gotta love autocorrect. It just grabs words that you don't even mean to say. But wow, that really means a lot to me that you said that. But so cool that you're still playing, that you have a band, and you're all grown up. You got a family and kids, and I taught you when you were like little. All right, well, that made my year, dude. Thank you. A little coffee, evening coffee. Oh, we have a question, I think. Idea. Vince, could you talk about playing double stops with a Floyd Rose? Yes, I could. And I will. Double stops are awesome. A lot of people don't know what that is, so I'll explain that. And what else? And the whole Floyd Rose thing, that's a whole can of worms right there. So we'll get into that. Let's see. That's right. You taught me when I was real. No, it was like you were in a hole. You were much smaller and much younger. So was I. I haven't changed height though. I'm still small and old now. Yes. That's my wife, Wendy. She's saying hello to you, Steven. You may have met her that night. I think you might have. Oh, boy, that was something. That was a while ago. Awesome. Hello, Dwight. Thanks for being here. And everybody, thanks for being here. So, Mr. Formiati had an idea or a question to talk about some stuff. And I said I was going to play. So, let's talk about this stuff real quick. So, double stops are what are two notes on the guitar that are played at the same time. Whoops. Let's get rid of all the cool stuff. We no longer need the cool stuff. Let's just go straight to guitar sounds. So those are double stops. I actually have an original that starts out like that. So it has that kind of a vibe. Those are double stops. Basically, you're picking two notes at the same time. All right, and that's the idea. The next part that he asked about, and also double stops are part of a triad. They're also called dyads because they're two notes. So they're part of a bigger chord. So that's the bigger chord, that's the triad, but we're just using two notes out of those three, and it could be any combination of those. It could be these two, or it could be these two. So either way, and playing anything with a Floyd Rose requires care. Lots of care. I love the Floyd Rose, and they're on, before I got Parker, that was all I used. I had a Kramer Pacer Deluxe that had a Floyd Rose on it. That was my first Floyd Rose guitar. Then I built a guitar that had a Floyd Rose on it. And since then, a lot of my non-Parker guitars have Floyd Roses on them. I also have a Parker DF model, which is short for Dragonfly, with a Floyd Rose on it. So I really like the idea of a Floyd Rose. But they're very difficult to tune if you're not familiar with how they work. And they're also really finicky on where you place your hand and how heavy you sit here on the bridge. So if you're a heavy-handed person, you will hate a floating Floyd Rose. Floating means you can pull back. Let's see if we can get the angle correct. So you can pull back and you can push forward. So if you press or lean too hard on this bridge piece, the tail piece, the guitar sounds like it's going out of tune. So here it is. I'll demonstrate. Hear that? It just sounds terrible. It's out of tune because I'm pushing down. A lot of guys who come from the Floyd, from the Les Paul style with what's it called, a tailpiece that doesn't move, and the Strat, which is directly flush, the tremolo bar directly flush against the body, have a really hard time adjusting to having a light touch over here. However, that's the secret to playing fast, is having a light touch. So if you can get that all together, having a light touch will allow you to lightly place your hand here, which gives you nice muting technique, which comes in handy when you throw distortion on. Or you can do like Eddie Van Halen or now Nuno, where you have excessive muting. That kind of idea. But you can't press hard on this bridge or it goes out of tune. Get that kind of seasick sound. Otherwise, if you have a light touch and you practice kind of just gliding your hand over here, then you have no problems with it. So hopefully that cleared up some stuff for you, Mr. Formiati, or anybody else who may have Floyd Rose questions. And this is the Ibanez Edge Tremolo, basically a licensed Floyd Rose copy and possibly an improvement over the Floyd Rose. Some people will argue that to the death, though. I think it's a cool tremolo. It's got the flutter, which I love. Flutter, it sounds like you kicked a beehive. So that's the flutter sound. A lot of people say Mr. Steve Vai came up with that, but I believe Jeff Beck did. He did it first. And then the guy who made it super popular before Mr. Vai, a lot of people don't realize what they were hearing, but Night Ranger, Don't Tell Me You Love Me. The end of Brad Gillis's guitar solo has flutter all over it. I think it's here. Pretty sure that was the end of it. I guess, I don't know. But that is the flutter. Sounds like bees. And of course you're hearing some other strings, so that's part of the whole muting thing. You gotta watch out you don't get your 6th string running. So you have to keep your hand lightly. There's a lot of muting going on. But it's a cool effect. Alright, let's see. John Ramsey. Where did that go? Oh, Amy Lynn was first. Let's see what Amy Lynn had to say. For my friends watching here, here's the Twitch link. See you there. Watch Vince Ginella with me on Twitch. Thank you so much, Amy Lynn. And everybody who may be on Facebook, I will not be really continuing going live to Facebook. So please go over to Twitch, sign up for a free account, hit follow, and you'll get a notification when I go live. Or if you already have a YouTube channel, do that as well, because those are the 2 platforms that I'll be working on the next year here. I really like the Twitch format. It's more interactive than Facebook and actually YouTube. So I'm going to use YouTube for gear demos, and I'm going to use Twitch for live streaming. So I'll put up a little notice that I'll be live streaming, but you won't be able to watch me on Facebook. You'll need to join up over on Twitch. Yeah. All right. So let's see. Thank you for that, Amy. And John Ramsey. I have 3 Super Strat style guitars with Floyd Rose systems and 3 without. Cool. What I used to do when I gigged was I brought, years ago, before I had the Parkers, I should say, not when I gigged, because I do still gig here and there. But that N4 guitar, which is a Washburn Nuno Betancourt, that was pretty much my main guitar for quite a while. And I would bring my Les Paul, which is right there. Nope, right there. I did this last night. That one, the black one. So I'd have a hardtail piece and one with a tremolo. And if I broke a string, I'd be able to just grab the Les Paul and not have to think twice about the tremolo bar going out of tune. I could fix the broken string on the N4 during a break. Then Parker came along and had this genius idea of having a lock where if you broke a string, you could lock the bar in place and finish an entire set if you wanted to without the string. So that was a pretty ingenious invention on Ken Parker's part. Let's see. Jimmy Mack. Hello, Jimmy Mack. Thanks for being here. Surfer Boy. Hi from Boston. Twitch is the future. Maybe. That's great. Oh, it's Jamie. I love that name, man. Tools, cars, and guitars. I had a Jackson with a Floyd Rose and hated it because I knew no better and sold it. Regret big time. Ah. Never sell your gear is how I feel now. Hello, everyone. Yeah, if you've been watching over the past 25 days, which is amazing that I've been going live, we've found that I've bought back guitars from students. The N4 is one of them, and you guys met him online here. Elmer, I had to track him down and get my guitar back. And then Matt Lukish, who is Lukish Literature over on Twitch, and I tracked him down to get my first guitar that my parents bought me back, my Cort Les Paul, which was a lawsuit guitar for them. It was one of the lawsuit guitars where they got nailed for copying a Les Paul too good. Believe it or not, a little fun fact, which we could add to the fun facts for Guitar Month. Both Cort and Ibanez started out as replica guitars. They would build replicas of Strats and Les Pauls, and they both got sued. And those lawsuits pushed them into the direction of stuff like this for Ibanez. And Cort has some amazing guitars right now, and one of their bigger endorsements is an Australian guitarist by the name of Frank Gambale. And I'm betting that Mr. Formiati knows Frank Gambale. He may have even seen him. Who knows? Frank might even live in his town. But if it wasn't for the lawsuits, they would have never have grown to the companies that they are today. So that's a pretty cool guitar fun fact. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, there was something. Never sell your gear. Yep. Never sell your gear, just be a hoarder. That's me. You know what I've actually had trouble with this entire month was I've had more trouble wearing a different t-shirt every night for 25 days, going on 30 days in a row, than it was than to not play the same guitar every night. Oh, yes. Nice colored guitar. It's the first time I've seen someone using this Ibanez. I think it's pink. Yes. This one in particular is... Oh, how did that happen? Oh, well. We'll just leave it up there. I tried to get rid of it. There we go. So this guitar is actually a Steve Vai model. It's called Panther Pink. It kind of gets purpley, which is really cool. And this is my wife's guitar. It's her favorite color. The gold hardware, the Ibanez in gold. And what he did was, you see all the different colors in the inlays? The pink, that greenish, and where's the other? The gold. I can't find the gold in this light. But there's gold in here somewhere. It's probably this one. It just doesn't look gold. They made 3 of these at first. And each one was a green, the gold, and the pink. And each guitar has this neck with the inlays for each color. And that was kind of a cool selling point. So, again, these were like, at the 2019 NAMM show or the 2020 NAMM show, I don't remember. And Wendy loved it and wound up buying it. I'm such a badass, but hot pink is my favorite color. Yes, you are, and yes, she is. Anybody that knows her. Oh my God. Your wife would love the Laura Basilio Ibanez. Yes, we watched her play the other night, and we did see that guitar. We watched one of the YouTube videos that came out recently of her live. She's amazing. She's so good. Let's see. A lot of nice detail in that guitar. Yes, there is. It's really wild what they did with the pickups as well. I'll show you guys. Get a little closer. So they etched these pickups. This is a gold plate over the pickup, and the pickup is pink, and the etching, it's pretty crazy. And then let's see, the back is also slick. Huge heel cutaway here. It's nice and round and out of the way. These two lines, that's carbon fiber reinforcement, so it's a 5-piece neck. 1, 2, 3 in the middle, 4, 5. And if you look at the top of the neck, oops, that carbon fiber goes all the way through the guitar. There's 2 strips. You see it? It's pretty wild, right? So they do that so it doesn't go out of tune as easily. Also, so the neck doesn't move. So when you're on tour, the guitar techs don't really have to adjust the neck so much, if not at all. Carbon fiber just usually doesn't budge, so once you set it, it's literally set it up one time and never touch it again. That's pretty much how all my Parkers have been. And same with this. Wendy got this probably 3 years ago at this point. And I haven't touched it since I set it up. So it's all good. Hey, Feisty Feather. Oh, I missed a couple people. Hold on, let's go back. David Granger. I presume the comment about lawsuit was related to Ibanez growth as a company. Yes, yeah, basically what happened was they built Strats and Les Paul copies, and then Gibson and Fender went after them and said, you guys can't do that. Like, they were really, really good. A friend of mine has one, and I'm going to try and borrow the Strat before the stream is up at the end of the month and show you guys what I'm talking about, because Ibanez made, like, if you turned it around backwards, you wouldn't even know that it wasn't a Strat, because the headstock is exactly the same. You only know when you turn it around and see the Ibanez at the top, but it looks just like a Fender Strat. Let's see. Oh, Metalhead Hippie. Want to play in 5 minutes? Sure. I'll stop talking. We'll do a little another original. Let's see. Where are we? Hello, Maria. All right. Yes. Now. Okay. Let's play. Let's play for the Metalhead Hippie. Let's play for my buddy Jeff and the rest of the crew over at the Metalhead Hippie Show. I'm going to do a tune here called Zero Gravity. It's an original. And here we go. I'm going to give you guys the good audio. Let me mute this. thanks, Jeff, for doing that. Everybody, Mr. Metalhead Hippie. Thank you. Feisty Feather, what's up? Good to see you here. I saw some people jump over from Metalhead Hippie's show. Thank you so much for doing that, Jeff. Really appreciate it. Can we get a twofer? Absolutely. Sure. Here we go. Let's see. Where are we here? Where are you? Where are you? We'll do... Come on. Got it. Another original. This one's called Take You There. Hey, everybody at the Metalhead Hippie show, thank you so much for jumping over to here for a bit. And Jeff, thank you for streaming me through your channel. Always appreciated, sir. If we're still live, Jeff, I would like you to do me a favor. I would like to give, as a sponsor, one free lesson to one of your listeners, to one of your people on your channel. You can auction it off a 1 hour lesson with someone from your community for all the help you have given me over the past couple of years. So one free lesson, you auction it off however you do it with your giveaways and your wheel and stuff. And I want to do that for the community. So anybody on the Metalhead Hippie Show watching, whatever night you decide to do it, they'll win 1 hour with me, and that's a thank you to everybody who is over there and has subbed up to my show. So one lucky winner, and that's what I want to do to give back a little bit. So thank you so much. And that wheel, yeah, I've seen Jeff do that, and I'm like, it's so crazy. But yeah, let's do it, Jeff. You pick them on your channel, you announce it, you get a lucky winner. We'll do a 1 hour lesson with whoever's on that night, and whoever wins. So you just let me know who the winner is, and we'll get the whole thing set up. All right. So there you have it. Thank you, Jeff. There he is, Metalhead Hippie, and the Metalhead Hippie Show with one of the coolest communities, of course, besides mine. Let's see who else was dropping in. Electra Omega, and Ed B Metal. Thank you. Feisty Feather, and who else? Q Brick Lovers 1972. Wow, thank you. Yes. Some more applause. Surfer Boy. What's the name of that? That one is called Take You There. I had to look just to make sure because I haven't played it in so long. I don't even remember the names of my own tunes. So that's an original that I wrote. That one's called Take You There. And let's see. And the one before that was... What did I play before that? Zero Gravity. Oh my god. My brain is not working this evening. Zero Gravity was the first tune, and that last one is called Take You There. Alright, let's see who else. Me, myself, and my iPhone. Thanks. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Let's back up. You guys were awfully chatty while I was playing. I couldn't reply to anyone. But let's see if I can get a couple of these. Here we go. All right. So, all right. Great job. Thank you. And encore. And we had one. Thanks, Mike Shanner. Thanks for being here. And Pendar. Howdy. Thanks for being here. All right. Oh, here we go. Okay, I think I got everybody. I might have missed some people. And again, the software is bringing chat from 4 different platforms. So there's a lot of stuff going on for me to read through. Thanks, Jamie. Zero Gravity sounds great. Thanks. It's a newer one, even though it's old already in comparison. I wrote it at least a year ago. So it's time to get some more originals. Hey, Brian. Thanks for being here. All right, so let's see. We got a nice crowd hanging. Maybe I'll play a little more. What did I do last night? Not to repeat myself. We'll stay away from that one. Okay, let's do this. So we'll do a little spy stuff. Yeah. Hopefully I remember this. All right, a little Mission Impossible for all the folks hanging with me tonight. So yeah, Guitar Month, Guitar Month. Let's see, other cool fun fact. Let me think of something. I had some all prepared and written out, but I think we've covered them all over the past 25 days. So I think I'm out of them. Let's see. Let's see what I have hanging out here on the other computer. Oh boy. Let's see. Let's see. All right. Here we are. I have my list. What do we have on the list? Oh, we kind of talked about this the other night. But we have some pedals. Pedals, top pedals that people like to use. So I think in general the top 10 pedals that guitar players must have are some kind of distortion, a chorus, a delay, and a wah-wah. Those are probably the most important ones. Then you have compression, which we talked about, and the placement of it in one of the episodes. We talked about where I place it in my Axe-Fx rig. I actually place the compressor after the wah-wah pedal, so it keeps everything smooth, and there's no high spikes in my wah playing, especially on a clean channel. And then phaser flanger and reverb. Those are like the 10. I think that was all 10. Yeah. So if anybody has anything that they prefer, but I could probably do a gig, and I have done a gig with just a 2-channel amp and a wah-wah. Simplicity is sometimes awesome, not having to deal with multi-pedals or a rack type situation. But I have done stuff where that's all I brought was just the amp, which had 2 channels in it, and a wah-wah. And that got me through pretty much everything for the cover gig that I was doing that night. And it's a really cool thing to just not bring a lot of stuff. Get in and out. And that's what I like about the Fractal stuff is I'll be able to have all of the pedals and be able to get in and out in one trip. Let's see. Brian had some stuff here. What did Brian say? You know, I've got a pet peeve with Ibanez guitars and don't know why exactly. You're all the first ones I've ever mentioned it. Oh, okay. So you don't like them. It's probably because I don't play very well. Well, okay, maybe. I guess. They're a hot rod guitar. You know, they're more than a hot rod guitar. They're like a sports car. So if you're not into that kind of thing, then maybe it's just not for you. But I don't think it would have to do with your playing ability at all. Just might be a preference, I would think. Yeah, I would think that would be more of a preference. Now, for me, I really like the easy playing guitars and the lack of a fight. So that was always a thing that I had with playing guitar. So I didn't want to fight it because everything else was a fight for me. So I wanted it to be easy and smooth and no issues. Like if I wanted to play a note, I wanted to hear it, and I wanted to be able to play it half the time with just tapping it. And if a guitar couldn't do that, I didn't want it. I didn't want to buy it. So I wouldn't even plug in a guitar half the time. If I couldn't do this when I was in like a store testing it out and be able to hear that, and then maybe even do a run, you know, and be able to play a few things with just this hand, then that guitar was not for me. I like the super low action, that sort of thing. Some people like to dig in and fight with the guitar. I just don't. That's just not in my DNA. I am not into that kind of a playing instrument. It's got to be smooth and butter, you know, like just really easy. So that's kind of the deal for me. It's got to be nice and smooth for me. And that's what I like about the Parkers, because they're about 20 times easier to play than this, which is crazy. So, but that's just my thing. Let's see. John says, a nice EQ pedal for extra tone shaping. Yes, I still have that white Boss pedal, the EQ, the white Boss pedal. Is a 7-band graphic EQ with the volume boost. So what I would do is I would boost a tiny bit of the treble and maybe 1 or 2 of the mids and put that volume of the pedal up. And I would use that as a boost for guitar solos when I didn't have my full thing eventually that became my rig. But before I got a distortion pedal that I liked, I had a Laney. If you ever played through a Laney, those things are super powerful. And the clean channel I set to like borderline breakup. So that way if I hit it with the EQ, with that little bit of boost, it was like it was like adding a distortion pedal almost. But that's like a combination of settings of the amp and that pedal to get it to do that. So let's see. I lost my glasses. Yeah, I can't read half this stuff with my glasses, so if you've lost them, you're definitely in need of finding them for sure. Right, my Laguna suits me fine. I hear you. Yeah, you know, it's like, again, and whatever, everybody's built differently. There's a lot of things that I can't do and I'll probably never be able to do and play. But you just got to come to terms with that, because that's the way your muscles and your fingers and all of that stuff that, other than your brain, it's a physical thing. If you physically can't play a certain thing, you either have to work on it and then call it a day when you've worked on it for 6 months and it feels like you're getting nowhere, and just realize, all right, well, this is not for me. Like, I'm not a huge sweeper like Yngwie Malmsteen sweeps, where you start on the 6th string over here and you just sweep all the way up till you run out of frets. Like, that's not me. I can't do that. I like doing the small sweeps and maybe some 6th string. There's a couple in some of my songs that I played tonight where I'll start up here or down here. You know, and I'll do a little comeback and then go up again. But I'm not a huge sweeper. Like, I wouldn't do a whole 4 measures of that. It just won't happen. It's not the way I play. So those are things that I just don't do. And plus, I was really more into Van Halen and Randy Rhoads, who really didn't do any of that. So when Yngwie came around, it was kind of like friends of mine were doing it. So to keep up with them, you had to learn it. And I just realized, like, I just didn't do it good. So when anybody asked me if I could sweep, I say, yeah, I sweep all the time. I sweep my garage. That's what I sweep. Let's see. Most places use that standard setup for the standard gauge strings per the manufacturer's or well-known specs. Yeah. So when you're dealing with, like, say, the speedier guitars, even out of the box, you could lower them more. Coming from the factory, like, getting a guitar set up the way I want it from the factory really never happens. Even on my Parkers, I think I got 2 that came in set up the way I like it. And that was because I called them and I said, this is how I set up my guitars, guys. And I'm going to tell you the same thing. Lower the bridge until the strings hit the fretboard, and then raise it slightly until they stop buzzing. That's how I like my action. I remember I took one of my Parkers up to my friend Patrick over at Brian Moore Guitars, and he was basically like dude, this is the lowest action I've ever done on any guitar. And I think he said it was 1 millimeter. I think that might have been what he said the measurement was. It was the first notch on that thing you buy from Stu Mac that measures the frets. He's like, it's ridiculous. And he's like, and you could bend without fretting out. I said, that's why I like the Parker Flies, because the neck is so flat. Now, this is pretty close. I forget the radius on this, but it's pretty flat. So you could bend forever and have the action almost as low as a Parker. Let's see. Surfer Boy says, let's make it bigger so I can read it. And everybody else can. All I use is an overdrive, delay, and chorus reverb for the most part. I'm a minimalist these days. Yes. Me too. Except I went from a refrigerator rack size of gear and a pedal board that was stupid big to a small pedal board and a one-space rack, Axe-Fx. I just don't want to give up all my cool sounds. So that's the problem. I like all the noises and the gear and the beeps and the boops. All right. Dwight. Yes, sir. Oh, and a Naga Viper treble booster. Oh, I don't know that. I'll have to look that one up. Hey, Christine. Hello. Good to see you. What's going on? Let's see. All right, cool. Well, I'm going to play a little more. We got a good amount of people hanging. So let me grab a tune. Let's see. Where are you? I'm going to do one of my tunes. This one's called... Where is it? Where'd you go? Ooh, it's not here in this playlist. Oh, there it is. Okay. This is a tune called Funk Me Silly. A little original. For all you music folks that are maybe newish, or maybe I haven't mentioned it before. I think I did back when I was doing my Monday Night Lives. But the bass player on this particular tune is the one and only Stu Hamm from Joe Satriani and Steve Vai. He and I did some clinics together. But I actually have known him since the mid-'80s. And we met up at a NAMM show. And he remembered me, and we were talking, and I said, I'm recording. And he said, oh, well, if you need bass, and he gave me his card. So I was like, awesome, because I was just going to ask you that. So we did some stuff, and this is one of them. So enjoy. I got carried away and got lost in my own song. I was like, what? What part am I on? Where am I going? What comes next? Oh my god. Thanks, Janice. Oh, let's see. What did Surfer Boy say? Back up, back up. Get the mouse. It's a handicap having bricklayer's hands, but I think you just have to find your feel and style. Yes, I've actually taught many contractors before, and they've have the stubby fingers that are all cut up and beat up, and oh man, one guy was like, "I'm never gonna get this," and I'm like, "Yeah, you will. We just got to get you playing the right way." And a lot of the things that he was doing was the thumb over the top, and with stubby fingers that are, beaten up, you can't do that. Got to keep your thumb flat behind the neck, and that will allow you to stretch and play better. Also, using your fingertips gets you much clearer notes. The clarity is way better if you use your fingertips and you keep your thumb behind the neck. So you want to keep this kind of a C. Whoops. We talked about this. The Spider-Man Kung Fu grip, right? Like this. Where are we? There we go. You want that. And you just want to place the neck right in there. And that allows you for the wider stretches. It makes your chords clearer and everything. So it's definitely something that could be fixed or improved on. So, but everybody has some sort of thing that they can't do, and it's either some kind of physical type thing that holds you back, or just you just can't wrap your mind around certain things. Like I know when I was learning, there were certain things I just didn't get, and that was it. Just couldn't get it. And then I visited again later on, and it was like, oh, all right, I get this now. I just needed to get past a few other things to understand. Music is just a giant journey. Learning an instrument and playing, it's just a really cool journey. You're at one point, and don't think of it like a rut. Think of it like you're just moving forward slower. And eventually that rut goes away. You just have to find fun things to work on, I think. And it just goes for everybody in general. Really, even for myself, I get in these pauses. It's like, I'm not writing anything, or I'm stuck writing something and you're trying to figure it out, get it to sound better. Janice says, I can't solo, I can't jam, but I play songs of my choosing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's the thing is, you pick what's at your level for where you're at on the journey. That's the way it works. And maybe soloing isn't something that's too important to you, so you're not really going to focus on that. And that's fine. But there's also people who just play songs the way they go. That's fine too. You just got to make it clear, like, I do the song the way it goes. Let's not deviate. That's right. Let's see. You were in the zone. I try to be. That's another tough thing, now that you bring it up. So being in the zone, especially in this situation, actually in any performance situation, being in the zone is very difficult because your mind can easily wander on a million things, especially if you're playing in clubs or venues. You could lose your train of thought very simply because someone waved at you, or the drummer looked at you like he was confused. Then you think, well, what did I do? Is this the part of the song? Am I wrong? Is he wrong? Are we just all wrong? And then all of a sudden the song starts to kind of fall apart, and then you guys pull it back together, or we would pull it back together. That's happened a million times. Let's see, what else? Unexpected stuff can happen, like drunks jumping up on the stage, like playing Giant Stadium with a U2 tribute band, and this is a true story, and we're playing, and it's the biggest game of the year. It was the New Jersey Giants against the Dallas Cowboys at Dallas Cowboy Stadium, and we're playing, and we're all looking the part. So I had to dress like the Edge. The singer had the Bono thing together. Bass player looked like I never remember that guy's name. But anyway, the point is, this guy starts to approach the stage, and I'm like, that's Bono. The dude looked exactly like Bono. Had the whole getup. I was convinced it was Bono, and for all I knew, it was Bono. However, the singer and the rest of the band, because I was a sub, knew otherwise. And they let this guy on stage because he convinced security that he was Bono. So security was like, holy cow, Bono is here. So they let him up. He comes up on stage, and the singer in this tribute band was not happy. And they start arguing. And this guy wants to sing. And of course, the band I was in, he was like, no. And rightfully so. We were playing at tracks with an inner ear click. Everything had to go a certain way. And this guy comes up and, jumps in and tries to hijack the show. And it's like, no, you can't, because we're playing the tracks and this is how everything goes. Well, they get into a fight. Of course, the guy falls backwards onto my pedals and turns like everything on. And I have the inner ear monitors going, so I'm hearing like what's coming next. So is the rest of the band. And these two are fighting on my area and my pedals, which is totally nuts. And security finally comes up and drags this guy off the stage. And the band, we didn't miss a beat. Singer was all frazzled. The song went on, and then I guess he sang the last chorus by that time. It was like done, and we stopped and we went into the next tune. But you can't prepare for that kind of stuff. No matter what you do, who knew that was going to happen? The Bono guy who looked like Bono was going to come and hijack the stage. You had no idea. Yeah, and there was a guy yelling, "You killed Bono! Bring where's Bono?" It was hilarious. I got the whole thing on my iPad because I actually recorded the set for my own personal use. I wanted to see how we sounded and everything. So I had the iPad on the side of the stage. So all you really hear is me. And then it was a mess. But this is what I mean is you can't prepare enough for these odd things that happen on stage, and you really have to focus. So it's being in the zone can easily go away. So let's see. You're killing Bono. That was hilarious. What I don't understand is I could play my own along to Hendrix and others, blues, etc. Now it's like I can't seem to do anything. Clueless. Well, I could tell you there's been days where I can't focus. It's just too much going on, and I just can't deal. That's pretty much why I stopped streaming back in October, because there was just so much going on that I started watching the streams back, and I was like, I don't look like I'm having fun, and there's a lot of mistakes. Probably not a lot of mistakes that anybody else would notice but me, but I'm a critical, everybody's their own worst critic, right? So anyhow, if it's not fun, it's not worth doing. And that's what wound up happening. It was just not fun because of all this other stuff that was distracting me. So, hence the break. But I think what you want to do is maybe take a break for a bit, but not a full break. Like, don't quit. Like, I didn't stop playing since October. I just haven't played these songs and haven't done this sort of live streaming stuff. I worked on other things, like my lesson site and lessons for current students and digitizing all my lessons. I've been teaching since 1985 or 86 actually. So I have giant binders full of stuff that's handwritten. And with today's tech and compared to other teachers, I can't be giving people stuff that I wrote by hand and photocopied 1,000 times that it's so faded you can't see it. So I've been digitizing lessons. So that's what I've been up to besides playing. But I don't play the songs. Excuse me. So there are days where I really feel like, geez, I can't play. I can't remember anything. So I have like 100 tunes in this playlist that I used to know how to play really well. And now I could probably play 20 of them really well, because I haven't played them. But that's how it works. Like, that's how it works when you're a musician or a player, is you go through the phases, and there's days where I can't play anything. That's how I feel. Or I feel clueless, right? But that comes around and goes around. And then, hey, it sounds like a Rat song, right? And then it's gone. And then you're back to playing again. So so Bono wanted to fight Bono. That's right. What was this? And especially if you've taken hallucinogens. Yes. But yeah, it was Bono versus Bono. That was it. It turned into, from Dallas Cowboys versus the Giants, it turned into Bono versus Bono. They didn't know that there was a wrestling match out, coming up after the game. That's right. So, Brian, I hope that gives you a little incentive to not be so hard on yourself, because we're all our own worst critics, and there's days that suck no matter how good you get. It doesn't matter. I hear it from all musicians at all different levels. It's just something that you deal with, because as you get better, you expect more from yourself. So, it's just the way it works. Let's see. What did Jamie say here? What if you're a Jason Becker fan, though? Jason is from another planet. Yeah. He's just, with everything that he's been through. For those of you who don't know who Jason Becker is, Jason Becker was the replacement for Steve Vai and the David Lee Roth band way back in the 80s. And he contracted ALS, which is a debilitating disease where you can't move at all, anything. And he literally can't move anything. He can't talk, nothing. But he still composes music. His dad and himself have invented a way of communicating with his eyes. That's the only thing that works on his body, is his eyes. So he is able to look at certain parts of a board that has letters and words on it. And he's able to communicate by blinking a certain amount of times and looking at different letters. But he also took advantage of a lot of our new tech with Logic Pro and these different software-based things. And then they implemented this vision type communication with his computer. And he's written albums like this. It's incredible. So you should check out Jason Becker, because when you think you suck and you go look at his story, you have no reason to think you suck, because he could have given up and not done anything since 1990, I think, is when he was totally like unable to move. And they told him he had like a year to live, and he's still composing music. So, yeah. No excuse for any of us when we say we can't do something. Right? I know Wendy's going to hold me to that now when I say something I can't do it. But you said... yes. Let's see. Cage match. Bono versus Bono. Honestly, I thought it could have something to do with astrological aspects. Yes, it could be. It could be. It could be just that you're in this funky mood or whatever because of whatever is aligned or unaligned right now. Binders, you probably have Rolodexes too. No, actually, I don't. I have a whole book of business cards, though, that I just found after moving. And yeah, so that's all got to go. That's got to go. The binders of business cards. But the binders of music, that's another story. Let's see. China Guitar Septic passed away today from ALS. Wow, okay. Yeah. I don't know that... yeah, I do, actually. China Guitar Skeptic. I'm trying to think of who. I'll have to look that up. I'm not sure who he is or was or she in that matter. But I'll have to check that out. All right. So we're pushing the hour-and-a-half mark here. We're getting close to 11 p.m. So I'm going to play one more. And I think we'll call it a night for tonight. So again, thank you everybody for coming by and hanging out and listening to my stories and asking questions. Let's see. One more not so long one. What do we have? I did that one. That was short the other night. Where are you? Let's see if we can pull this one off. I'll be right back to say goodnight. We'll do one more. Here we go.
weapon of mass destruction is human.
Wendy, did you hear the whoop? I figured out how I did it. Yeah, it was it's a combination of moving the volume pedal so it's not so blasting. No, I'm not going to do it. So a bunch of months ago, I was playing that song, and after the first run of the verse, I did this cool thing, and I'm like, I'm never going to be able to do that again. And I accidentally did it tonight. But I saw what I did. It's a little inside joke Wendy and I have. All right, everybody. Well, have a great night. I'll see you all again tomorrow for another episode of Guitar Month, International Guitar Month. Thanks for being here. Thanks for subbing up and following me on Twitch and on YouTube. And Facebook people, please come on over to one of those two platforms. And if you have an Amazon Prime account, definitely get yourself a Twitch account. It's free for you. And if you link the two accounts together, you will then support me, and free of charge of you. You sign up through your Prime account on Twitch and subscribe to me, and I make some money. Jeff Bezos gives me like 4 cents. No, I'm just kidding. But it's cool, and I appreciate everybody who's helped, especially Amy. She's been a great help over there on Twitch. And thank you all who have subscribed to my Twitch channel and my YouTube channel. And again, thanks to Metalhead Hippie. He's a great dude. Go check out his show. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.